What's up, guys? This is Colin. I'm here with Dustin. We're here to look at Sunset Overdrive. It's a brand new trailer. This is an Xbox One exclusive coming from Insomniac Games, who actually PlayStation gamers hold near and dear to their hearts, but not so much anymore because this game will only be on Xbox One. It looks really great. It's by the team that did Resistance, and we're going to take a look at this new trailer for Gamescom. We studied up a little bit on it, so let's rewind and kind of go back to the beginning, take a kind of a closer look just at what's going on here now. Now, Dustin, this game's got a comical kind of take.
That's right, yeah.
Not a very serious game. It's not like Insomniac was really known for serious games, with the exception of Resistance, actually. So, what are some of the things you're seeing here? Where should I kind of stop or go?
So this introduced, the energy drink, which they gave out at E3. It's just like any other energy drink, except it makes you into these guys. So I think the first thing we want to notice here, at least in what I saw, is this guy that they introduced. Now, we're not sure exactly how characters work yet in the narrative of Sunset Overdrive, but Floyd here is the absent-minded scientist, and I think what this means, you can spare me if I'm wrong, but there was a movie in 1961 called The Absent-Minded Professor, and it's the spiritual predecessor to the movie Flubber. So I'm thinking maybe there's something there where it's like an homage to the absent-minded professor. Maybe there's some kind of technology that it's the reason where like the physics is all wonky in this game, because in that movie this material just lets you bounce around, and like the momentum goes crazy. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is a game about bouncing around, hopping around, like maybe there's at least some explanation there, and I think he has something to do with these guys as well.
Yeah, it sounds plausible. The OD'd are obviously drinking this what is it called? Overcharged Delirium XT.
Right.
And when I was at Insomniac looking at the game before it was even announced, or I guess after announcement, before they showed any gameplay of it, that stuff was everywhere.
Yeah.
And they obviously, like you said, gave it away at E3. Very cool. Seems like a pretty plausible scenario.
Sure. Yeah. And you can see right here they're getting if you rewind a little bit, they're drinking. They're drinking it up, and it looks like they're getting more powerful, which I don't know about you, but I think it's the first time I've actually seen the transformation and not just have different enemies, monsters like that.
There's an actual weapon in the game that's like a harpoon-type weapon that you can shoot, and it lets out the overcharged delirium, and then the enemies all take to it. So it kind of looked like maybe similar animations there.
So you can maybe suspect that that's a way of gathering them together so you can blow them up, but if you leave them there too long, they get more powerful or something like that.
And obviously we're seeing some imagery from Fizco. Fizco is the mega corporation that released this drink and now is trying to, I guess, negate the damage, but it's a little too late.
Yeah, so it's a failed cover-up. But right here, if you rewind, or right here, you see like these might be NPCs, or there's a situation in progress where you might have to save them, or maybe you're responsible for this situation. I'm wondering if these are random events, or is this just for the purposes of the trailer? I'm not so sure.
When I played the game at Insomniac, there were a bunch of NPCs that you could take side quests from, all sorts of different quests. I know one of them I was like collecting records for a dude, another one comic books and stuff like that. So this could indeed be just pre-rendered stuff that they're showing for the trailer, or in-game stuff. I never saw these robots though.
Yeah, so they're introducing these robots from Fizco, and in their weekly update, they mentioned that you fight them differently than you would the monsters. So their weakness is energy weapons rather than fire, which is what the monsters are weak to. So they mentioned that they plan to put you against both types in the same scenarios, wanting you to really switch up your weapons mid-combat. So I think that's cool. If you actually rewind a little bit too, you see this lightsaber right there. And it's throwing tornadoes. He's not actually making contact with that lightsaber. So I think that's one of those energy weapons that is you can see the classic Insomniac weird weapon. Doesn't do quite what you expect, but still fun to play with.
For sure, and it looks like it actually reminds me a lot of the little light sword in Ape Escape too. That Spike uses.
There you go.
And
PS1.
And we could see a little bit of Insomniac's heritage here too with the grinding, especially Ratchet and Clank kind of stuff here. It's also a little Bioshocky, to be frank, but.
They actually recently, Insomniac released a statement saying they sped up the grinding a little bit because people thought when they first released a trailer of it that it was going too slowly.
Yeah, the game, I mean, that was one of my complaints when I wrote my preview, is that the game actually seems kind of slow when you're grinding around. It doesn't have velocity that you would expect, but that's really because you're doing everything while you're moving, so they need to give you a chance to actually shoot and see what you're doing as opposed to just flying around at the speed of light. So it's good that they up the speed a little bit, but they can't do it too much.
Right. You also have to be concerned about what's behind you, which is why it looks like these levels right here are littered with things that you can bounce on and grind on. So if you do jump backwards, you might end up just grinding on something and looking cool anyway.
So this looks awesome. We're only a couple months away from Sunset Overdrive exclusively on Xbox One. we're going to have more on the game soon. Hopefully we'll see it again shortly, and obviously we'll render our verdict closer to launch. So thank you for joining me.
Yep, absolutely.
For more on all things Sunset Overdrive and Xbox One, keep it tuned very closely and very clearly to IGN.